was the absolute top, the first part. I was like, it's got to be him. He's so funny. He's so perfect for this. He's so good at capturing that, like, he's always a little in over his head, but like.
Hey, so this is Riju from Sportskeeda, and Megan, it's my honor to talk to you. So I have watched most of the season, not all of it, but congratulations on the show. How do you feel now that it's out?
Yeah, I feel great. It's it's a lot of work, a long time to make a show, and so I'm super excited that it's out in the world and other people are getting to experience it.
What's the best compliment that you may have received now that the show is out?
I have talked to at least a couple of the writers on the show who have shown it to kids in their own families, and they're all big fans and want to be in the brushstrokes and have added the music to their playlist. So that was that's pretty exciting that that they're really responding to the show.
Very cool, very cool. I mean, everyone wants to be a rock star when they are kids. Not everyone gets to be a rock star when they grow up. Was that kind of the genesis of the story, or how did that come about?
I did actually want to be a rock star when I was younger. I was in a band, so there's maybe a little bit of that influence there. But I knew I wanted to do something creative for sure. So Jasmine I can certainly relate to her as a character. As for the genesis of the show, it really kind of came from RBRICK itself from the very beginning. Because one of the things that's so interesting about the RBRICK collectible is this idea that they're sort of all the same until they get painted, and that's what sort of makes them special. And so that to me was really interesting, of like, oh, this world where what if you don't get painted what you want to be when you grow up, and you have different choices, but what if that you're not allowed to? What's that world look like? And that was just such an interesting place for conflict and storytelling to happen. So we really came from that place of looking at the toy itself and saying, what's the story that's already kind of built in here, and how do we expand on that in a really interesting and fun way?
What did you play?
I sang. I do play some guitar, but I sang in my band, yeah. My short-lived.
Very good. So is it fair to say that you resonate with Jasmine more than any of the other characters? And
yeah, I mean, I think there's probably a little bit of all the main characters that's a little bit reflective of me. I think whenever you're working on something, you bring sort of parts of yourself or people that you know, but certainly Jasmine wanting to express herself creatively, I 100% identify with that, because I've basically dedicated my life to doing that in my own way, and in writing and in producing animation.
What was it like working with the great Tim Meadows for something like this?
Oh, he was fantastic, so fun. His character was great. He was when I came up with that character, he was the absolute top, the first part. I was like, it's got to be him. He's so funny. He's so perfect for this. He's so good at capturing that, like, he's always a little in over his head, but like keeping it together in such a funny way. And he just was amazing every time he came into the booth, and would just give us more than we ever thought we could get.
So my other job, I mean, I love doing this. My other job is to review pro wrestling, and there's clearly a pro wrestling fan in you, or maybe one of the other writers. Could you tell us about that?
Oh yeah, because we have this episode where the math teacher secretly wants to be a wrestler, and I think part of it was thinking of what would be the last thing that you would sort of expect this particular character to have this passion about. So I think that was a big thing. And then I was thinking like, oh well, what is something where math would actually play a role in her being unexpectedly good at this, of her doing all the angles and figuring out how to do it. So that was really where that came from, and it turned out really fun.
I mean, we can draw parallels between the show and like very high concept novels like 1984 or Brave New World or Fahrenheit 451. Do you think it's I mean, my first impression when I saw the show was that I really enjoy it. It might be a little too overwhelming for the younger audience. Did you ever feel that way?
I didn't, because I think that you can make shows that work on a lot of different levels. So the audience that gets that sort of what we're trying to say in the message, or the sort of dystopian kind of thing that we're going for, will get that, understand that, take that away. But then there might be the kid who just loves the music, or the kid who really likes the comedy, or the kid who just likes the pretty colors. So for me, it's always saying, like, let's go to the heights that we can go to in a kid's show. Let's appeal to the most mature kid in the space, or even the parent. But then make sure there's nothing mean-spirited or inappropriate for a younger audience, and that there are always things that the younger audience will also be really excited about, and they won't get bored with the show. They'll be super invested in all of the things that they like. So yeah, that's my goal, is always to work on multiple levels. And if you don't get those things, it's okay. You can still have a good time watching the show.
I love that villainy is like one of the jobs in this world. So yeah, tell us more about that, like the origin of the idea.
Yeah, I just love this idea. Yeah, like there needs to be, somebody has to be painted a villain, because someone's going to be painted to be a good guy, or whatever. So we have to counterbalance. They've really thought a lot of things through, but not all the things through in this society. So I just thought that was hilarious, and to also counter that with a character who, all these kids are potentially going to be painted to be what their parents are. To have someone who's just such a sweetheart be faced with the idea that, like, oh no, I'm going to be painted to be a villain. It's like his worst nightmare.
Right. Do you think the purpose of music is to, bring about change, or can music, like we just spoke about, can it work at different levels?
Absolutely. I mean, I think on this show, like I said, a younger audience member might just think the song is catchy and fun. Someone else might be paying a little more attention to lyrically what we're doing and the themes that we're really trying to bring out. But I do think that music is this international language. I think that we're all drawn to it. I think it is such a fantastic vehicle for creating change and creating conversation. And I'm so excited that we were able to hopefully achieve that with the music that we've done on the show, where, like, you want to listen to it, you want to put it on your playlist, but if you're really listening, you're like, oh yeah, this is kind of like getting me hyped up about pursuing my own passions, or looking to make my own changes within my world.
And yet, at the very start, you established that this is not a show where everyone's going to break out into song, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Was that a little tongue-in-cheek? I mean, there are a lot of shows like that.
To me, it was just, we have Jasmine speaking to camera, and it was kind of funny to me, like, to go ahead and introduce, like, wait, this isn't like a musical, we are going to do musical performances, but it's going to look like this. This is how the show will be slightly different than some other shows. And certainly not to, like, point a finger at or make fun of shows that are musicals, because I actually, unlike Jasmine in one of the episodes, I actually really like musicals. So it was just a particular choice for this. The show's about a band, and so it felt like we wanted the performances to feel very organic to what they were doing, that we would actually see them perform, versus have it be more of a musical style where somebody just sings an I Want song in the first episode.
Very cool. My final question, I mean, the brushstrokes have a message. What is your message for people who might be watching you on this interview? My message is, first, watch RBRICK. And my larger message is just that, pursue your passions and pursue your dreams. That's what I did. And I'm sitting here now talking to you about a show that I got to make as a result of doing that, and as a result of having a lot of people support me in that dream. So if you're a parent and your kid is expressing whatever their interest is and their passion is, give them the support to pursue that to the end, so that they can live their most purposeful life. Thank you so much for speaking to me, and congratulations.
Yeah, thank you so much. This is great.